You see this here tent? I made a jacket out of that old tent. Here she is.
Springbar Tent. Springbar.
And it just took a bunch of cutting up, a bunch of sewing, and my good pal Drake to come over and show me the ropes.
Find great gifts and great food too.
Now, William, I want you to have a look at the second showcase. Begins with camping equipment. From Kirkham's AAA Tent and Awning of Salt Lake City. And that's for camping in the backwoods, but while you're out of...
Dad?
Yeah, what'd you get for Christmas?
Over here.
So as a kid, we would camp a lot, and we'd always use my dad's Springbar tent. So it was really important to me that we used that same tent material.
Just a foot.
I didn't want to use my dad's tent, and so I looked on Facebook Marketplace for used one that could still and cut up, and that's when I found out that they're out of Salt Lake City, Utah, exactly where I live, 15 minutes away, their headquarters, and they've been hand making tents, like cutting it by hand, sewing by hand, for 1961. That would be what, 40 years, 60 years. Math is hard. So headed over to their warehouse. Got to see where all the magic happens, where they cut it and sew it, and met one of the owners, Pace, who's a sweetheart. Look at them do it all by hand. It's wild. 60 years of doing that. Anyways, he showed me that they have like this place where they fix up old tents, and for the ones they can't fix up,
That's the one.
he gave it to me. They also gave me a shit ton of things that I'm going to be giving away at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. Jackets, powered, all these goodies.
Alright. So from the outside, the jacket's gonna look good, but the inside, it's probably gonna be interesting.
No one ever looks at the inside.
Nobody ever looks inside. Do you want like the pointed color on it, like this jacket? Or do you
Probably. The way they pointed it, right?
Yeah, we could just trace this and then add a point to it. Yeah, we could just do this then.
Let's do it.
Alright. What do you want to do?
Can we do them so they open up on the
Do you
side?
want 'em? We can.
Like a square?
Well, I was thinking patch pocket's easy. Doing this is a lot of steps. Like
Yeah,
can
I don't
show
want to
you
do this. I want to do patch pocket.
Oh, but have it open on the side. We could do it dual layered, so it's a flat pocket out here, and then in here is just
Yeah.
literally whatever we want.
Yeah, did you see what Carson just posted?
I think that should be the back seam. So we just put this center line, and then you have this triangle coming down.
You can make jackets for like a whole entire small children's soccer team.
We need a bigger place to cut, because we're not going to be able to cut the whole back piece off. Dude, what's really nice is last time I cut out a beefy pattern like this, I used a laser cutter.
Pizza, like pizza. Well, I'm thinking like
You want it double thick.
like basically cut out the pattern for the sleeve, right? And cut it out of this as well. So this is the liner.
On the inside, and then this on the outside.
Drake had this pattern, so I took some of my tissue paper for packaging, taped it together because it wasn't quite big enough to fit the pattern, traced it on out. I think that's a sleeve, and then I just pizza cutted the tissue paper out, so then I can then use that to cut out some of the material on the tent. So that's the back. And tape in place. I wanted the back to be right there on that seam, and also I was cutting through 2 layers of the tent. It was like the tent outside, and it was just right on the edge of the tent, so I was actually also cutting on like the bottom like tarp part of the tent, which was a nightmare, but kind of fun. So got that. Now we're gonna do that front side, same idea, just cutting it out and trying to do with 2 layers of everything. 30 minutes later. Insert SpongeBob graphic there. Anyways, with it all getting cut out, I had to make sure that it was double layered, and then on the sleeve, I didn't want that tarp material to be like on my arm, and so then I got some of this white material and just cut out a second layer there, so I could still have like a second layer on the tent, but it would be like a soft material against my skin if I was wearing short sleeves. So yeah, good to go. Cutting it all out. So I made this one that's gonna be all green with like a couple of like white highlight spots, like the pockets, and then also the collar. And then I cut out a whole second one. So gonna make that one that's kind of all green, and then make another one that's all patchwork. Should be fun.
Dude, I can't play, bro. That's not it. Where is it?
We'll let Marshall, how come I couldn't say his name? We'll let Marshall get back to his music. And Drake and I are gonna try to sew this somewhere. I think I say that later in the video, so that's interesting. So while Drake was kind of doing like more of the pattern work, following the pattern, getting like the pockets sewn on, I was trying to sew the two layers together so that it wouldn't be such a nightmare to try to sew all the pieces together. Does that make sense? So like, for example, the sleeve, I sewed like the white part to the green part, so you don't have to like try to sew a sleeve together with 4 parts. Math is hard. How come I can't do math? So there we go. We got a vest. Looking pretty good. So then Drake just sewed up those sides.
So Drake here has to cut this up because he has to line up
high quality cutting.
because this goober didn't cut and sew together good. Good relative. So you see, can you explain what you just did?
So we put the collar on. We did the edge stitch of the collar. Now we're doing a little fold over so that we hide this inside stitch.
That was really ugly.
So that, yeah, it was a little ugly in there.
Look at that guy.
So we're hiding that shit with the fold over for the collar flip.
So you can sew right down there to hide that inseam.
So in sweet attempts to make this look as spicy as possible, we did some of the little tricks like that, and then also Drake had me starting like cutting out and folding these not folding, but also folding these little strips so that you could sew them on some places to like hide seams. So he started doing that and started folding over some of the sides and sewing those down so they weren't like frayed sides. And
Match up the notches.
Natcher marches.
Put on a clip. Alright, let's sew this son bitch.
We're gonna clip all the way around.
started sewing the sleeves into place, which things got like weird and like backwards. Like you have to like have the outsides facing, touching each other, and then you sew on the inside to hide that seam. Sewing is interesting. Also, I got some chance to do my own.
Gross right there, but ooh, we have to fix that right there.
But like most things, I mess up and leaves a lot of room for some creative problem solving, which that's all art really is,
Sleeved up.
is active problem solving.
Trimming up the schmutz.
Schmiert.
The schmiggity schmutz. Cool.
Sewed it.
Hot dog.
That's a sleeve.
I got a sleeve.
Now that's all that's left. It's all the sewing done. We gotta get a button put on.
Take it to the studio.
So we headed back to the Springbar warehouse where we're gonna put on the buttons. Also checking out some of like their merch. Cute little. I want this apron. It's a cute apron. Then also some of like their stencil making machines and all of like the stuff that they do to make things by hand. Honestly, I can't believe how nice everyone there was. They're like helping me like with all my questions about how they sew it, how to get the buttons on, about like their process of repairing tents. And everyone there was so stoked on the jacket. I think I'm gonna have to make one for every single employee. So this, oh, what was his name? Oh man, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but he helped me figure out the buttons. And so I just measured out where to put them. And then with that, you punch a little hole in it. That way, when you rivet on the buttons, it doesn't have to go through the fabric as well. So I punched a hole in all, I think I did 6 buttons, maybe? And then with the riveting sheet, oh, messed up. Try that again. Just boink. Pressed on one of those little buttons. That's the, I feel like, male part of the button. And then the female part. And then I had to make a cute little post for Instagram because it was super satisfying getting those buttons on there. So with those all in place, time to figure out where to put the patch. And just like any over the chest print, lines up with the collar and kind of midway down through the sleeve. It's where most over the heart prints and patches should go. This one's nice, it is sticky, so I could stick it on and put it on and see how it looked, make sure it's right where I wanted. Even when it's buttoned up, it's looking good. So now to now to try to sew it. And they were nice enough to let me use their machine. And it was so nice. And like the thread was thick. Woof. Got the original Springbar patch on there and then the 2022 limited one. And now I wanted to stencil on the Springbar logo. So that, wonk. Nice. And here we go. We got ourselves a jacket made from Springbar Tents. I recently was out doing a tufting rug out in the wilderness, and I was using this generator, and it was super loud. And I thought to myself, how cool would it be if you could actually like be outside listening to like the river, cars driving by, without hearing like a loud generator. So that's where today's sponsor comes in. It's a huge thank to Renogy, who hooked me up with the Phoenix. So it's running right now, and all I can hear is the river, cars outside. And that is how I'm running all these lights. So maybe you guys have a cute date and you want to set up a cute campground, or you want to tuft outside and do some crafts outside to use electricity, or you need lights. Whatever the case, Renogy's got you covered. And here are some of the specs. So not only does Renogy have like the generators, they also have solar panels, they have all your needs for everything to go off grid, anything you want to do to have electricity where you don't have electricity. I am so excited that I want to set up a TV. You're like, Brian, you watch too much TV. I don't care. I'm gonna watch more now when I'm outside. One of my favorite things to do is to watch TV in places that like I shouldn't watch TV, like the beach or camping. Go check out their stuff. You can get a discount with this coupon code.
Like everything else out there. I was like, oh my god, sorry, because this shit. So what's the first shot? What am I doing?
We already did the first shot. You're just existing.
Oh hell yeah.
You're so hot. She's hot. This is my sweetheart friend Ava. She's beautiful. She's a model, and I had her help me show off these jackets. The one on the left is the one like with the patchwork, and I sewed that all by my little self. I was very proud. Sewing's not the very best. Look at the sewing too much, cause the sewing's not very good, but it's fun. We get a detail of this patch. It's not sewn very well.
She cute though.
But she cute. But she cute. And then also because on the tent there's all these zippers for like ventilations and the windows. They kind of came into play so you could have like little pockets, additional pockets, and vents, I guess. I'm super stoked with how these turned out. They have so many like graveyard tents and then also so much extra scrap.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think I'm gonna start making them and doing like a little Springbar line of jackets. So really stoked for that. But I also wanted to try on, this one makes me feel like I'm really fast, like it's a race car jacket. Get it. Oh, I love Ava so much. Detail shots of that one. I try to make this look as much as like the tent as I could as possible. like the little highlights with the patch and then the stencil, and then also this is where the stake goes in when you're staking in the tent, and also the top of the tent is white. It's a little peekaboo collar, and that is the side of the tent right there. And that's how that stitching is. So that'll turn out real nice. Patches. Limited Springbar. Will you put your hand in the pocket? It's so hot. And oh, dropped my phone. And those are the jackets. Really stoked with how they looked. Ava makes them look so cute. And like I said, I got a bunch of stuff to give away. So 3 different packages. This one, then a medium one, and a small one. Big package, what I got included is one of the jackets, the Phoenix 200 battery, a bandana, a hat, a patch, a shirt, and of course also the bag that comes in. I added this up and it's more than like $1,500 worth of giveaway goodies, so that's fun. Medium prize, you get a smaller duffel bag and everything else minus the jacket, and then for the small prize you get everything in the big thing minus the jacket and minus the Phoenix 200, and it comes in that cute tote bag. So cool. So to enter the giveaway, just go to my website, hit the giveaways tabs, and fill out your name, email, and what giveaway you want to win. Alright, so be sure to like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that bell notification. And yeah.